new generation of nuclear reactor design. So we thought this was worth talking about with our National Security Institute founder, Jamil, who joins us right now. I actually was listening to this this morning, and they went through it. They had the documents, and there were changes in like the language, and they're saying, well, this could really create safety issues. Could. To me, the larger question is, are they, not whether they're changing language, it appears as if they are, but are they really creating these safety issues, or are they also making it more efficient? In other words, making things better for the industry, cutting red tape. And where's the line between those two things? I'm not sure that we know that yet, but it's always a question with regulations.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right, Connell. You know, we don't know the details of these changes. We have apparently in this NPR report some of the leaked documents that they appear to have gotten copies of, and they've done comparisons to the prior regulations. Remember, Connell, these are regulations about how the Department of Energy itself deals with its own nuclear reactors, the ones it creates or works on in experimental programs. It doesn't deal with the commercial nuclear reactors that are regulated by the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. So this is a narrow set of reactors we're talking about, but an expanding one because President Trump, in an executive order from last year, ordered the expansion of a new program at Department of Energy and the commissioning, or at least the criticality, of 3 new nuclear reactors by this July 4th, 2026.
Trump's approach on this is always going to be fewer regulations, right? Cut the red tape. And that's his approach in other industries as well. So I think of technology a lot, what's going on with AI, what's going on with crypto. He talks about that, and the industry loves it. In this case, the industry probably loves it as well, but is there more on the line here? I mean, that's what I was getting at earlier. Where is that line? I mean, let's talk about nuclear power.
Yeah, well, Connell, we have to know more about what the changes that are being made are specifically. But one thing you can be assured of is that the country needs a tremendous amount of energy now, particularly if we're going to stay in the lead against China when it comes to AI. We need more power. Nuclear power is the cleanest way to get it. It's a smart move. You see a lot of these hyperscalers, including Meta, which has put a bunch of money into 3 different nuclear power companies, TerraPower, Okla, as well as Vistra. And, they're spending a lot of money on nuclear power because that's a clean way to get a lot of energy in for these data centers that are going to power the AI revolution. So if we want to stay at the forefront of it, we got to get in this game and get in this game in a big way. And if people want clean energy, nuclear energy is just that, clean energy.
Right, and that brings us back. I was mentioning technology, but you're right. The tech folks are pushing this, right, because of all the power that's needed, and that adds to it, I think, because now you're going to see more and more pressure, right, to bring these plants online. But nuclear, to your point, this could be a very, very effective option if safety is not an issue. I heard the president talking about it at one of his events, where he was saying in the past he wasn't a big fan of nuclear. I'm paraphrasing it, but he said, I wasn't a big fan of it in the past because I was worried about safety. But then he said something quick, I don't have those worries as much anymore, and you wonder why.
Well, it does appear, Connell, that this new generation of nuclear reactors that we've heard about, small modular reactors, and again, we haven't seen them deployed in full scope, but from what we can tell about them, they do appear to be more stable and more effective than the older generations of nuclear reactors that we've heard of. And even those older generations, though, Connell, if you think about it, they do cost a lot of money. They are tremendously expensive to build, but they've generally run pretty effectively and efficiently. Now, of course, we have prominent things that a lot of people always talk about: 3 Mile Island, Chernobyl, the Japan Daiichi nuclear plant during that huge tidal wave. But those are rare and few and far between. The real truth of the matter is nuclear power has been running around this country and around the globe for the better part of decades, and we've seen very few major incidents. And in fact, we've had a tremendous amount of benefit from those nuclear plants. So in a lot of ways, if we're going to be at the leading edge of technology going forward, we're going to have to adopt nuclear. The reality is solar and wind and hydropower just can't scale the way nuclear can. Do we need to make it safer and better and more efficient and smaller, more modular? Absolutely. But we need to lean forward if we're going to win the technology race against China.
On that point about a technology race, not just China, but obviously they're the big one. Nuclear power around the world. I want to bring this back up. We have a look at China: 58 nuclear reactors, 38 under construction. All right, so you combine that, that's a decent number. And then, as we showed you earlier, again, Russia: 34 reactors, 6 under construction. Iran, 1 and 1, and the UAE with 4 reactors. None under construction. The big ones are China and Russia, and the biggest is China, right? This is all about us versus China in your view.
That's exactly right. And look, if you put up the numbers for the U.S., you would see the numbers are tiny because we're just not building that many. And to the extent we are, they've been being built for years and years and years because regulations are killing us. And so it makes it very hard to get effective nuclear power. What ends up resulting as a result is we end up keeping other, natural gas powered and coal powered plants around longer. And so people are concerned about the environmental impact of coal and other fossil fuel powered plants. Then we should be building more nuclear now and making it faster. And so I get there's criticism about are these regulations too loose, right? First of all, it's for a very narrow category. It's for these experimental reactors that we're trying out, run by the Department of Energy. But on top of that, if we're going to get our arms around this problem and you want clean energy, if you're not looking at nuclear, you're making a huge mistake.
Yep, and more people are saying that, certainly in industry, but the safety discussion has to be had, which we've had today. Thanks for all of this, Jamil. Thanks for walking us through it. Jamil Jaffer's with us. I'm